How's everyone doing? Feeling a little mentally exhausted? You're not alone. Know that there's many of us that are just taking this political climate day by day, hour by hour even. So hang in there. We're gonna get through this together. It's okay if you need to take a beat. Stop going online for a little bit. Come back refreshed. Unfortunately, I think this shit show's gonna be around for a while, so.
Oh man, it's so delicious. It's so good to see them routed like this, to see them so defeated. I know people in my personal life who are liberals, who are leftists, who said, oh yeah, I just have decided to unplug and stop following politics for a little while because I feel so bad. One, this is how they kind of maintain their echo chamber, how they maintain their information silo from the rest of the sane world. And two, they're that emotionally defeated. It is quite delicious. Anyways, this is Red Channels, your humble guide on the 2024 Make America Great Again Revenge Tour. Now, before we get into this video, please consider giving this video a like, sharing it to support this channel, commenting, subscribing if you haven't already, going down into the description section and subbing to me on Patreon to monetarily support this channel, or going to our first sponsor, Classic Cut Suits. Classic Cut Suits. Have you looking fresh? Have you looking sharp? Have you styling on the vintage fashion community? Holla at your boy, Classic Cut Suits. Without further ado, let's dive right into this video.
Don't believe the lie from Donald J. Trump that says that he wants our government to be smaller, that he is fighting for a smaller government. He's not. That's a lie. He's fighting for oligarchs to become our government. Do you see the difference? He wants tax cuts for the wealthy while the middle class and lower class families suffer because he does not care about them. He never, ever has. Every day he is proving that he is bought and paid for by millionaires. Millionaires.
This has been said before, but in light of recent executive orders, if you are a teacher and also a content creator, I really encourage you to be mindful about how much information you give away about where you work and the demographic of the kids you work with. Okay, I know that a lot of us have very strong feelings. A lot of us care so deeply for all of our students. We know that everyone deserves a right to an education and other things don't matter, okay? But when you are being loud online and not wise about keeping certain things private, you can put a target on the back of yourself and the back of your students, okay? And I'm trying to kind of dance around it so that, again, just be mindful, be wise, be smart. It's okay to be upset, it's okay to voice anger, but when you start identifying certain populations that you work with, and if people can find out where you work, and you're in certain states, please be mindful. I know you care about your students. I know so many of us are so upset about certain things happening right now, but be mindful, be smart. You got this. Make the moves you need to make in private.
Hello. I was a federal worker who had 1 month left of her probationary period, and today I was told that I will be terminated at some point this week. I'm utterly devastated. I'm confused because my recent performance evaluation was exceptional and I got upwards of $1,500 as a bonus because my performance was so good. And this was my dream job, and it's just being taken away by an administration who doesn't care about science. It doesn't care about people who might be homeless with their dog now. They don't care about our species that we're trying to conserve. That's exactly what my job was doing. It was just to assess habitat conservation for species for a 55-year habitat conservation plan. We should all be so mad right now. We should all be crying like this because I'm just devastated.
Oh my gosh, this is too delicious. We should all be so mad right now. We should all be crying like this. Because Donald Trump and Elon Musk are getting rid of the fat and the waste and the bureaucracy that has been dragging down the American government. All that inefficiency, all that pressure you felt indirectly on your neck to act a certain way, behave a certain way that was coming out of your tax dollars, that's getting cut away. And this woman's got a boo-hoo over that. Can you believe that I don't have a job anymore? Oh. Ugh. Man, I am so glad to see it.
If you're the type of person that is currently right now posting on your social media the number for ICE and saying to report your local immigrants, you're not a fucking good person. That right there is the most vile and evilest fucking shit I have ever seen. I was scrolling my Facebook this morning, which, yes, not a fucking good thing to do because it's Facebook. The people on there, it's just a cesspool of hate and right-wing extremists. But I was scrolling through my Facebook today, and someone I personally know was sharing a post saying, call ICE and report your local immigrants. That is disgusting.
I guarantee you this guy is a moderator on Reddit.
With all the fun and games we've been having around here, I feel like it's been a minute since I was especially mean to the men, so let me just dive right in and say that I do not care about men's mental health, and I don't think that men have a problem expressing their feelings. In fact, I think that men are socialised to feel entitled to express whatever feelings they happen to be having towards whoever they want, in whatever way they want, whenever they want. I would argue that it is in fact women who have been socialised to repress their feelings. After all, from childhood, to betray any hint of emotion is to be dismissed as a hysterical or over-emotional woman. So we turn those feelings inward and express them through the micromanagement of our bodies and appearance, the development of eating disorders, and the development of maladaptive communication strategies such as weaponizing guilt, because we have learned that we cannot get our emotional needs met by stating them directly because nobody gives a fuck. While men seem to see the fact that they fear being ridiculed for expressing their feelings as evidence that they are less free than women to express those feelings, they do not consider the possibility that women are also ridiculed for expressing our feelings, and so persistently that we develop a thick enough skin to stop giving a fuck about it and to forget that we're even feeling feelings. Women are ridiculed and punished for expressing our feelings to the degree that being characterized as an overly emotional woman can affect your ability to succeed in the world, including professionally. Meanwhile, men's feelings are taken as a matter of such importance that they're actually deployed as a defense in situations when men unalive their entire families over them. Men's inability to cope with being ridiculed for expressing their emotions is not a mark of being persecuted, it's a mark of being coddled. Women's emotions are treated as fickle, frivolous, and not important, while women are socialized to see them the same way and to not trust them as reliable indicators of what may be happening to us. We are taught to deprioritize our physical and emotional comfort. Meanwhile, many men think that it's reasonable to sit on the toilet for 45 minutes in the morning while their wife is getting the kids ready for school.
It's a Mexican restaurant, a very popular Mexican restaurant in this town and in a couple of other towns around it. And I didn't think about it being Friday night, so when I pulled in, I was like, oh, damn, it's Friday. And like the parking lot is packed. And it's full of, the big trucks and I see all the old white people lumbering in to get their Mexican food that they love so much. And it's just like, I know the majority of these people voted for the orange stain. And what are they going to do when he comes in and rounds up half of their staff, or all the work? Like, it's just mind boggling that people can be in their community and like have such a fondness for their restaurants and their food. And, they want them to literally picking the crops and working it's the disconnect is just mind boggling. So I'm going to go in here and go to the bathroom and just wonder at the state of things.
The elitism of white liberals is truly repellent. These are the sort of people who would tell you not to make assumptions, not to make prejudgments, but she sees a Mexican restaurant and assumes that the people working there are illegal and going to get sent back automatically by default. Like, it's just so, man, these people, they need a mirror held up to their faces for them to see reality. And I mean, a while ago, there was that whole consternation on the view of how that one woman with the shaved, like, purple hair side cut went too far and was like, who's gonna mow your lawn, Donald Trump? This is now literally this. That is now literally a mainstream talking point. White liberals are admitting their privilege. Who's gonna do our low-wage labor if you get rid of all the immigrants? We don't need to pay people more. We don't need to fix that problem. Who's gonna do our low-wage labor? Ugh. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It truly is. Liberals are like attacking Trump's tariffs now too. That could be a whole video in and of itself. Back in the day, by the way, Bernie Sanders was pro-tariff. They're not going to mention that. They won't bring that up. It was considered pro-worker to be pro-tariff. You were protecting American workers who worked in factories, who worked in mills, who worked in various plants and places across this country from foreign competition by instituting tariffs. So we had an edge. But now liberals are pro-free trade and saying that this country's going to fail, America's going to fail because Trump is getting into a trade war with Mexico and Canada and China. It just shows you how fake the so-called left really is.
It is alarming to me how many of you keep being surprised by each and everything that the Trump administration is doing. These wellness farms is like the next thing I'm seeing. I'm wondering, did any of you actually read Project 2025? And if you haven't, go actually read it. Read every single page of it. You're already on your phone. You have the time to doom scroll. Read every single page of it. And then when you're done, go watch literally just the first season of Handmaid's Tale.
Sometimes when I want to feel something and it's been a long day, I look up MSNBC election night and watch Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid sounding all optimistic and excited for Kamala Harris to win the presidency. And then as the night went on and the map started getting more and more red, and that moment when Kamala headquarters started emptying out, hearing that change of tone in their voices was so beautiful. Because imagine dedicating the entire election cycle to calling Trump Hitler and a threat to democracy and somebody that should never win the presidency ever again. And then Trump swept and they had to be the ones to report it. It was like a happy ending to a movie.
I wish I had her number.
Have you ever noticed how Elon Musk has resting rich asshole face? Like, he looks more and more every time I see him on camera or photos of him, like that caricature of an evil villain that you see in like old movies. It's like all of the joy and compassion and empathy is being sucked out of him.
Yeah, you, Mr. Pink Hair, are the person I would love to hear that assessment from. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please share it. That is the number one way you can help support this channel. Also consider going down into the description section and subbing to me on Patreon to monetarily support this channel. And of course, also consider going to Classic Cut Suits. Got a lot of new things down there. Peruse the site, see what you like. You get a watch. You get something else weird, something else fancy. And red channels will catch you in the next one. And of course, shout out to my patrons, Tara, General Jack Ripper, and William.